Hey there, George Bruno here, also known as the Sultan of Silver in the hair industry, talking with my friend Nina Seidel tonight. Haven't seen each other in a while, and she just wrote a book, and I want to talk to her about it. And I really think that what she talks about in her book, and I know a lot of years of research went into this, probably 30-something years, uh, went into this book, and you're going to benefit from it. And I'll put the link down below where you can get her book, but I just want to introduce you to my friend Nina Seidel.
Hey. Hi there, how are you guys?
And we go back a few years. I think we met at a business networking event in Lambertville, I think it was.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And we hit it off socially and stuff and became friends, and we've gone out dancing, gone out eating, and I think I crashed here a couple nights when I couldn't drive or something like that, and had some. And you were down at the beach house, and we did some things together. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. And I know at the time you were really working hard on this book. Working really super hard. I remember when it was just notes and outlines, and now it's a book. So it's really neat to see that kind of come about. So why don't you just tell everybody what this book is about? I know it's called Parenting for Life.
A big key in this is the subtitle, which is Consciously Creating Your Lifetime Relationship with Your Child. And the book is geared toward really anyone raising or relating to children of all ages and stages. It's not cookie cutter. It's a nice, solid formula to help build your relationship from the beginning of your time together until the end of your time together. It also is very suitable for any kind of family, whether you're straight, gay, lesbian, intergenerational, foster, adoptive. And if you're an adult child and you want to go back and take a really good look at the way you were raised and maybe have some empathy for your parents, what their history was, what their skills were at the time, and to find some forgiveness, which will be very freeing for you, whether you're a parent at this point in time or not.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you say that because I did a video teaching on telling people to go easy on your parents because they were winging it just like you're winging it. So we need to kind of extend grace back to them because it's not like they had the resources back then. There wasn't parenting courses back when like your mom and dad and my mom and dad, you know, they were winging it.
Right, and also socially, you know, we are reflecting the times. So whatever the focus is in the world is what becomes the manner in which we operate in our lives. And I think in those days, you know, it was sort of the idea children should be seen and not heard. Parents were not looking so much inwardly at, you know, their tendencies, their history, their skill level or lack thereof. And, you know, that kind of mentality has shifted in time. And now actually, unfortunately, there are too many permissive parents. So we went from authoritarianism to permissiveness, and there's so many great choices in between. So it's a lot about ownership, taking ownership of, you know, why did you choose to have a child or children? You know, what is your mission, your goal, your purpose in being a mom or a dad or a co-parent? And then what's your strategy? How are you going to take the love that you feel and the children that you adore and help them become the people that they're meant to be?
You know, I had a client the other day. Right now, I'm in this thing where I'm asking every single guest, what are your goals for 2018? And one gentleman said to me his goal is to restore and reconnect his relationship with his adult son. And I thought, wow, that's deep, man. And it's a worthy goal, too, especially if you're estranged from your children or your adult parents, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's a worthy goal, would you say?
It's a beautiful goal. You know, I'm not of the mind that I tell people to become estranged to family members if there's trouble. I prefer to advise people to work it through. Sometimes it's first internally before, maybe in the case of this man, they can approach the other person with grace, dignity, mutual respect, etc. And sometimes one person grows and the other doesn't, like in any romantic relationship. So it's important to be ready for that to happen.
Grace and dignity. usually people that have been apart, the one who wants the restoration usually has condemnation on the tip of their tongue. Why haven't you called? Why haven't you written? Why, it's your fault. Like, they're ready to blast the other person. And to be able to, like, a relationship's not going to get restored if you are on the offense. You have to kind of like lay down your weapons, right?
Exactly. And today, as beautiful as this is, and we need this to expand into the world more, just saying, I think some factions of society are embracing the whole concept of forgiveness. And sometimes it's about that someone did the best they could with the tools they had at the time, which is very indicative of what parents' roles are. So, we learn and grow as we go, and sometimes we learn to be better because we made some mistakes or mistakes were made with us.
Yeah, which goes back to, like, we were all winging it. I mean, what's the classic parenting book, or was it like
Dr. Spock.
Dr. Spock. I keep thinking Mr. Spock from Star Trek, but
and then there's that. I'm sure there's philosophy there too
for
parenting, right?
Somebody should write a book, Parenting by Mr. Spock.
Right. May the Force be with you. Oh, that's Star Wars.
That's Star Wars.
Excuse me.
No, Star Trek is to go where
no one's gone before.
Yeah, exactly.
That too.
Yeah. Which kind of applies to parenting as well.
Right.
You know what's interesting
it's a
about...
deep process.
It is a process.
It's loving another person is a very sensitive and powerful concept, and whomever that other person is. And it's up to the adult in charge, the way that I write it in my book, Parenting for Life, to give their children a voice. And whether or not they agree with one another, whether they can really hear the other person well, like this man that you interviewed, part of that is that there's an attempt being made. And I'm hoping that he finds peace within, whether or not it occurs without, I hope, for his sake.
I agree. All right, so you're a psychotherapist.
I am.
You have degrees in psych, expressive arts therapy.
Yep.
You're a popular speaker. You're known all over the world. You're an author. You've got like award-winning author, like a mom's. What is it called?
The Mom's Choice Award.
Mom's Choice Award.
Honored my book with this very prestigious international award, which is in 55 countries. And Deepak Chopra endorsed it, saying, if you're interested in conscious parenting, this book is an excellent guide. There's homework at the end of each chapter. And I practice what I teach, incidentally, as well. Part of it is being able to be vulnerable and, like you said, put your weapons down, let your guard down, and also to find clarity around why you want that relationship to be strong. And if that's at the core underneath the interactions with your children of all ages and stages, you have a way better shot of having open dialogue, building mutual respect, and having that ability to be real with some boundaries with that person or those people that are your children.
I totally agree with that. I mean, and what's interesting is I remember about 4 years ago when we were out at the Desmond Hotel.
Okay.
A big social situation.
Okay.
And your son joined us. 2 sons joined us. One son joined us. Mm-hmm. And he had a beard, too. Remember, he had a beard. And so the first thing that I think is, all right, so here's this person writing this book on parenting. And I thought to myself, all right, I want to see if she puts her money where her mouth is. Honestly, that's what I was thinking inside. I never told you this.
You didn't?
And I'll be honest with you, I was so impressed with your son. He was a gentleman. He was gracious. He loved his mom. He was a gentleman with me. And I'm thinking, yes. I just wanted to high five you at that point because I thought, well done. Well done. Just
Thank you.
It's so wonderful. And I thought, this is really, really neat. So I never told you that.
Well, thank you for that, George.
I need to share those things, probably more when I observe those things. All right, so there's someone out there, and most of my audience is male. Many of them are fathers, young and older fathers. I have people as young as teens, as old as, in their 80s watching the channel. Parenting isn't just for the young 25-year-old dad, the 30-year-old dad, and, going to father and daughter and father and son breakfasts and games. You're still a parent when your kids are adults.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Yes. I think part of it is really building the foundation between the two people and building the mutual regard, which is sometimes forgotten, not always, sometimes, and seeing that person as an individual adult. So you become peers to a degree, although there's still that step up where the parent still kind of has some authority as the guide and the elder, etc. I personally don't believe in raising children as though you're their buddy. However, later that can shift a little bit in terms of hanging out together and doing things that are fun, and also keep maintaining that boundary that you're not oversharing about the mom, for example, or the dad and what you went through with their other parent. If, let's say, you're divorced, which is true, unfortunately, for many people.
Yeah. Myself, divorced, kids.
So it's something that if we value enough developing curiosity about who that person has become or who they're becoming, then that's another amazing way to connect. Amazing way. Knowing, again, you're not going to overshare something that's really not appropriate. As a therapist, that's a theme to, allow people to see things that may or may not be serving them or their relationship. And it can make an adult kid uncomfortable, and it can also make them feel brought into that inner circle of, wow, dad or mom just shared that with me. That's pretty cool now that I'm older. So you have to gauge what will be sufficient and what won't, what you need to set a limit on.
I know in this world with mom and dad splitting up, kids living with mom, visiting dad every other weekend and on Tuesday nights or something like that. And a lot of times moms in modern society are the primary parent with primary custody and so forth. And now there's adult children who've been raised by a primary mom who need to rebuild their relationship with their dad because they missed out on a lot of that, or maybe dad just kind of took off, or he was tired of the custody battles and all that kind of stuff. What advice would you give to a dad who wants to rebuild his relationship with his kids that he never really had the chance to do when the marriage broke up? Can you make up for lost time?
Well, the first part of that answer I want to share, I see in my private practice, which is a lot of ongoing and long-held anger and resentment toward the other parent. And if that trickles down, or if that is conditioned, reinforced over and over again over time, by the time you have adult children, they may not want to have anything to do with you because you have dissed the other parent. And not only that, it's creating a wall because the relationship wasn't forming over the time period that the child was growing up, if it was based on the contentiousness between the adults in the scenario. So you can rebuild if you have an open heart. I think there's always an opportunity for healing. I humbly believe that. And also both people have to want it. But you can open your heart if you're a dad to your adult children and say, I love you, I miss you, I want to have a relationship with you. And ask them what kind of relationship they want with you. It can take baby steps as well.
That's deep. I love you, I miss you, and I want to build a relationship with you. Write that down. I'm dead serious. Guys, I know those words might not roll off your tongue very easily. Practice saying it. sounds weird. I love you, I miss you, and I want to build a relationship with you. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the lifetime that you have, and we never know when, that will be gone. So when we're here, we have every moment as an opportunity to connect, to reconnect, to disconnect, and that's true for yourself too. So I think part of it is asking yourself why you want to reconnect or build something with a child that maybe there was some discord or separation. And then next to that, find out what your child needs and wants with you. And it could be that you have to hear and listen and be quiet to the pain that they endured growing up without feeling the blame or without feeling that you have to defend yourself for it. Sometimes kids are in the middle of, World War III, and it's not their fault. And that's another really important key I would also always advocate. And I often tell many of my clients, it's not your fault, it wasn't your fault. And there's a certain freedom in the heart
that's deep, man.
That opens up.
That is, I swear, I want to cry right now because you're touching me right now with that stuff. Honestly, this is like, it's almost like you're speaking to me and you're not supposed to be right now. Yeah, wow. This is, wow. Holy cow. Let me get some water, hold on. I got to maintain this tough male exterior, so. Good.
So look, the way that we heal our relationships, we start with ourselves. We start with forgiving ourselves. We start with learning, who we really are, which can change in time as we grow and mature.
Yeah.
Aspects of our personality may get bigger, others may shrink, and that's all fine as long as you're being authentic. And it's all based on what the connection, the potential connection can be when, and I know I said it a moment ago, your heart is open and your mind is open.
All right, so this is what I want people to do. I'm going to use this video as kind of a Q&A. I did it with some other people in the past. I'm going to be posting this to the YouTube channel. Nina will be watching this video. Feel free to ask questions. Post your questions down below, and she will answer them. So we're going to use the comments section in this video as a forum for Nina Seidel to answer your questions. She certainly is qualified. And
can I give my website too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Of course.
So my website, everybody, is kind of lengthy. It's got my name and my slogan in it. It's liveinspiredwithnina.com. And in time, as I'm better known, it'll be ninaseidel.com. Thanks.
Excellent. Excellent. And then I'm going to put a link for the book down below, which is called
Parenting for Life.
Parenting for Life. I think you're going to benefit from it. And like I said, I remember when this book was an outline, and I'm just so happy to see the paper and ink come together. Even if you read one page a day, I think you're going to benefit from it. Check it out. I don't lightly recommend things. And I just want to thank my good friend Nina.
Thank you, George,
for hanging out with us.
Thank you, everybody.
So, signing out, it's George and
Nina Seidel. Live inspired.
Peace.
Peace.